Oh. Hello. Who is out there in Facebook world that wants to talk about building some immunity? When you jump on, say hi so I know you're here. I see somebody. I think it's Bonnie. Is it Bonnie? It's Rebecca. Hey girl, hey. How are you? Hey girl, thanks for jumping on. Hey Megan, how are you? Let's address the elephant in the room, because everybody's talking about, the Rona, right? Everybody's talking about that, but we don't ever have those discussions about what can we do to help ourselves. Let's just do some things to help ourselves. Hi, Julie. Hi, Sue. Hey, Wanda. Hey, Julie. Y'all, my lips are so dry. Would you all be offended if I just, moisturize my lips here real quick? Because I am on the struggle bus right now. It's been a long day. Libby, how are you doing on your stuff? Are you feeling better? I haven't followed up with you. I'm terrible about that. Michelle! So, I'm going to tell you this. If there's somebody that you think that could benefit from hearing about how to build immunity, or would just like to hear about what I do personally, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story and a little bit about what's going on with me in the last year. We're going to go ahead and get started as people jump on. As you jump on, say hi. Let me know where you're from. If there's somebody that you think that would love to see this discussion that we're having. And guys, I legit prepared. I wrote notes. I've got pages and pages of notes here of information that I just did some of my own research today. For those of you that don't know me or that don't follow me on Facebook, my name is Leslie Powell. I'm a physician assistant. I've been practicing medicine for the last 18 years. And out of my whole medicine career, I have practiced, oh, thanks, Michelle. Out of the last 18 years, obviously this last year has probably been one of the most challenging. Yes, you can, if they're your friend, you should still be able to tag them here, or you can share it over to Messenger for them, Addie Sue. So just share it over to Messenger, and then they can jump on if they want to. But what I will tell you is that the last year has been super challenging for me. I work in a nursing home right now. COVID has been rampant. It has been horrible. And so the struggle has been real. I have a medical background. I've worked in cardiology as well as pain management. I did house calls for about 2.5 years. And I will absolutely tell you that this year has been horrific. So if you wonder about my background or what I do or how the heck do I get the authority to talk what I'm talking about, well, I have kind of been around the block a little bit with the Rona. So I just thought I would jump on here and tell you guys my story. I am going to let you know that I have not contracted the virus. I have not had it. I don't know how that is possible because I have constantly been inundated by it. I've been around it. I have used proper hand washing. I have worn masks. I have done everything that I have possibly known to do. But for whatever reason, grace of God, whatever the cocktail that I'm doing is working, whatever that is, I have not contracted it. So I want to preface with that, and I will also preface that with what I'm about to say. I am not telling you that if you follow and do some of the things that I've done that you won't contract it. But what I am telling you is that the least you can do is give your body a fighting chance. And so I'm going to dive into these notes that I have. Bill's coming and saying no live. Can somebody tag Bill in my live? Let's see if we can get him here. I'll just tag him myself. So over the last year, we know that COVID has changed everything. It changes the way that we look at each other, how we interact with each other, and the information on this virus is constantly evolving and changing. And I think that's where some of the frustration has come along with, distrust and misinformation, and there's been so many things out there. So my focus is to talk to you about what you can do to boost your immunity, okay? We want to talk about boosting immunity, but we are definitely going to get a little nerdy, okay? This might be boring for some of you guys. I've really legit even have some diagrams of some things to show you guys. So this is what I want to tell you. The biggest problem with this virus is that it affects everyone differently. You really have no idea what your immune system is made of until you contract it, okay? And we all know that. If you've had it, I mean, we've heard the gamut of symptoms, and it's ranged from anywhere from diarrhea, vomiting, fevers, chills, sweats, respiratory issues, all the way up to, I've even heard neurological problems, okay? So some have been asymptomatic, some have been really sick, some have been placed on ventilators. But the main thing is to understand is that there are certain groups of people that are very high risk, okay? Because, you know, this virus is back on the rise again. They're talking about Delta and all these things. So, you know, I want you to understand that there are groups that are definitely high risk from just a medical standpoint. Let's just set the whole holistic side that I'm going to talk about it over to the side. But from a high risk standpoint, if you have metabolic syndrome, and what metabolic syndrome is, you will hear your clinicians talk about this. Heart disease, diabetes, and obesity. That's a lethal combo. If you're fat and you have heart disease and diabetes, it's almost like a death sentence, okay? I hate to tell you that, but I want to be real with y'all here. I don't want to sugarcoat anything. Sugarcoating is not going to get you anywhere. I want to talk to you wholeheartedly tonight and tell you that if you have those three conditions, it is really, really difficult if you end up on a ventilator for you to overcome that, okay? Outside of the grace of God and lots of prayer, okay? Which works, by the way. If you have lung disease, any type of autoimmune disease, if you're of advanced age, if you're older than like 65 years old, you're at higher risk, or you're immunocompromised for whatever. Let's say you have cancer, or, you know, we know that your immune system is already suppressed because you're fighting some kind of horrible thing, God forbid, okay? But those are the groups of people that are really, really, really high risk from succumbing to this, okay? So the other thing that I want you guys to understand, and we were just talking about this morning because every Thursday we have a clinical call with our clinical team out of the nursing facility, which is why you're working on your weight. Yes, get it, Michelle. So proud of you. So there's a huge rise of pneumonia right now. And I feel like the rise of the pneumonia has a lot to do with people that have had this virus, and it has attacked their lungs, and it makes you more susceptible to getting lung infections that won't clear themselves, right? That's what pneumonia is. It's basically a lung infection that has not cleared itself. So the other thing that I will tell you is that we are seeing is what they call long-term COVID. I'm almost afraid to say the word. I'm afraid I'll get blocked. It's a real thing. We call those people long haulers. And they suffer from persistent brain fog, cognitive impairment, fatigue, anxiety, depression, PTSD, headaches, dizziness, shortness of breath, and sometimes cough. Those are just a gamut of the symptoms that they're talking about for people that have long haulers, the people that are having long-term symptoms from the effects of the virus, okay? So with all that in mind, okay, I want to address how you can combat some of these issues, and also my theories and causes of why I think this is so, okay? So we're going to get a little bit nerdy. Are you guys ready for that? Can you just hang on with me for a minute? Let me get a little bit nerdy, okay? So let's talk about the virus for a minute, okay? I'm going to show you this diagram here. And this is a virus. This is the virus right here. You're looking at it, okay? So, and these little things on here are what we call the spike proteins that are on the virus. And this is an ACE2 receptor that is on the surface of a healthy, active cell, okay? The cat is meowing loud. So the virus takes this spike protein, and it jumps onto the healthy cell, okay? And it bursts into the cell, and it hijacks the healthy cell and takes over, and it replicates its DNA, which is inside here. You can see the RNA, which is the DNA that is inside the cell, and it injects it into that healthy cell, and it replicates. So as a result, our immune system goes into overdrive, all right? So you have to think, as it's like loud sirens going off, red flags, the immune system's going, danger, danger, danger. You know, it's like screaming. There's red alarms everywhere. Because what happens, when that spike protein right there gets onto that ACE2 receptor and gets into the cell, it creates a cytokine storm, okay? A cytokine storm. And as a result, the immune system responds this way, when the immune system responds this way and it screams danger and there's that cytokine storm, it benefits the virus. It makes it easier to replicate. It makes it easier to duplicate, okay? Hang in there with me. We're not going to stay nerdy for too long, okay? So cytokines, because I said cytokine storm, right? We need to explain what that means to the layperson. Cytokines are a large group of proteins, peptides, and glycoproteins that are secreted by cells of the immune system, okay? So now we're kind of defining what a cytokine is. And they're signaling molecules, and they regulate immunity and inflammation, right? So when your body is in a cytokine storm, your immune systems floods your bloodstream with inflammatory proteins called cytokines, okay? So when you're in a cytokine storm, all those proteins come into the bloodstream, okay? And those cytokines kill tissue and damage your organs. Is everybody with me? Throw me some hearts if you're with me right now. Are you following me? Let me know that you're interacting. Like, I need to know that you're with me right now. Oh, I had to get a drink. So I'm drinking a little bit of immuno tea here. Okay, I see the hearts. Very good. So cytokine storm is created by cytokines, and those cytokines, if not controlled, some way, shape, or way, right? You need to think of cytokine storm as like a big tornado that comes into your body. It just comes in like a big whirlwind and does a whole lot of damage, right? We don't want that. We don't want our body in tornado alley. We got to fix that, right? So basically, what do? So this is why people have such a hard time recovering from the virus, okay? Because of the inflammation and the repair your body is challenged to perform on itself. Your own immune system has to protect itself from itself. It's like internal combustion, right? So it's a total overload for the immune system. So you can see how if you already have an illness, and we know that many illnesses right now are created from an inflammatory process. So basically you can think if you have a long-term illness, it's usually created from some type of inflammatory process. So if you're creating a more inflammatory process onside that, you're just completely overloading your immune system. You just can't fight it off. And that's why it's been so difficult for people over the last year to survive, okay? So you're behind the game, all right? So the big question is, what can you do to help your immune system? Now keep this in mind. All of this, this is only one piece of the puzzle to fight the virus, okay? But if I threw all this science at you, I'm not trying to lose you. So just hang in there with me, because we're going to talk about one more thing that I feel like is really, really important. And that's adrenal stress, also known as adrenal fatigue. It is a real thing, okay? Some of you may have heard of this, some of you may have not. The adrenal gland looks like this. So these are your kidneys, okay? These are your kidneys. These are the arteries and veins that connect to your kidneys. And this is the adrenal gland. It looks like a little triangular hat that sits on top of your kidneys, okay? So that's the adrenal gland. That's what we're talking about right now. So the adrenal glands produce a hormone called cortisol, okay? What is cortisol? It's a hormone that helps control and regulate blood sugar levels. It regulates your metabolism, okay? It helps reduce inflammation, and it assists with memory formulation, okay? It controls the effects of salt and water balance, and it helps control your blood pressure. Did you know that your kidneys were regulated in your blood pressure? That's why if you have uncontrolled blood pressure, you end up with kidney damage and end up on kidney dialysis. You're welcome. Now you know. All right? Why is this a big deal? Cortisol and adrenal stress, right? When your adrenal gland is under stress or fatigue, you can't sleep, you cannot regulate your blood pressure, you crave salty snacks, and you pack on weight, all right? You typically suffer from joint problems. A lot of people with chronic adrenal fatigue have frozen shoulders and chronic joint problems and aches. You have popcorn thoughts. You can't really keep everything together. And you might be known as a night owl and that you can't sleep. So if you don't sleep, your body and your liver doesn't properly detox at night. And so basically, you're really not cleansing your system, okay? Everything's not getting done like it should. So adrenal stress, sets you up for long-term illnesses. And many people have adrenal stress, okay? Unless your adrenal gland is about 90% faulty, and you go to the doctor and you ask for a test to test your adrenal gland, that is going to come back normal. That is why clinical symptoms are diagnostic and it should be treated properly, all right? The reason I mention this is that basically if you've ever had adrenal stress, your body is in a constant state of stress. Even when you try to relax, you can't relax, okay? You never really recover because the stress just compounds and it gets worse over time. So there are many factors that play into this, but there's lots of examples that can create a perfect storm for adrenal stress. One is childbirth. I mean, who's had a baby? Throw out some hearts there if you've had a baby. If you're chronically ill, if you've been under some kind of tragedy, and tragedy includes like sexual abuse, divorces, stressful jobs, stressful relationships. List is endless, okay? I mean, you just name it. So you can bet that if you don't deal with all that, you are determined and you will come down with a chronic illness because your body internalizes. Your body internally is working against that stress and it can only fight and press against that for so long. That's why the mind is so important. That's why it's so good to deal with stress because you will come out with a terminal illness if you do not deal with that, okay? So, it must be dealt with. So my advice, you can talk to me later about this, or you can go see a functional medicine doctor, take up yoga, do low-pack exercise. There is an adrenal support supplement. There's a couple of them out there on the market that you can take, which will actually help that problem. Talk to me after this if you need help with that. I'm going to get you that information. So let's keep moving, all right? So let's talk about immunity. We're going to dive into a few things that you can do. First of all, let's identify what weakens your immune system. Low nutrients. So back when the Spanish flu came around, it was so bad in the 1900s, right? Because there was lack of proper nutrition. That's why the Spanish flu just came through and obliterated people. Like it took out like 50% of the population. It was horrible. But at that time, foods were rationed and the quality of food that they had was very poor. So basically people were malnourished and they succumbed to the Spanish flu because their immune system wasn't supported enough for them to fight it off. There you go. People talk about the Spanish flu all the time, but that's the low and the short of it. People were malnourished. It just wasn't getting done. So diet, lack of vitamins, lack of trace minerals, amino acids, and fatty acids will keep you from being able to heal. You have to have proper nutrition, okay? Number 2, the virus has to invade the cell wall to replicate, right? We talked about that just now. I showed you a picture of it. So that's why taking a really good omega-3 fatty acid is so important in your diet. So omega-3 fatty acids create layers around the cell wall. Think insulation, okay? Layer up on layer up on layer. The virus literally hijacks your DNA and it replicates itself because it's not a living organism. It needs a host, right? So it acts like a parasite and it needs a host. So if you have a weak immune system, you're prone to getting the virus. So if you have those layers there of those fatty acids to insulate, it's going to make it harder to infiltrate the cell, okay? So omega-3 fatty acids are really important. Fat and cholesterol, believe it or not, are vital to a healthy immune system. The last thing you want to do is go on a low-fat diet, okay? Krill oil could work. Yes, Julie, it could. Or, what's the other one? I'm having a moment. I'll think of it in a minute. So you're literally stripping the cell of its fatty acid layer. We just talked about that. So if you don't have enough fat insulating that cell, not unhealthy fats. I'm not talking like go eat a cheeseburger fat. I'm talking like omegas, avocados, like all the healthy fats that you can get. So you're setting yourself up to be sick if you cut out the fat, okay? Stress, we just talked about that, raising cortisol, stressing out your adrenal gland. That's going to lower your immune system. Lack of sleep, we talked about that, also related to adrenal stress. That's when your liver detoxes at night. Glucose. Some viruses are activated by sugar. I often say that sugar is you all have heard me say it 100 times, devil. It's the devil. I'm going to elaborate more on that in a minute, okay? Let's see here. I gotta find this info. So you need to make let's finish talking about sugar. So you want to make sugar a non-negotiable in your life. Let me see if I got my papers mixed up. Oh, okay. There are all alternatives to sugar out there. There are plenty of non-sugary recipes that are just as satisfying. The one thing that I will tell you is that once you give up sugar, you quit craving sugar. And it only takes about 7 to 10 days. And you're done. It truly does work. It really does get better. Your taste buds change, and foods that you may have liked before all of a sudden may taste good, okay? We're so quick to judge addicts in the world that are addicted to other things, but the United States as a whole, we're just addicted to sugar, okay? So here's a few sugar substitutes that I would recommend. Number 1 is stevia. You want to use stevia. I don't recommend Splenda or Sweet and Low or Equal because they're all made chemically in a lab. I recommend any type of non-sweetener that is made from a plant. So stevia is from a plant. Erythritol, monk fruit sugar is very, very sweet. You can do xylitol, but I will remind you that xylitol is toxic to your pets. Don't share those treats with your pets. Swerve is great for baking. It comes in granular, confectionery sugar, and brown now. It's great to cook, great to bake with. Again, avoid Sweet and Low, Splenda sugar, Equal, because they're associated with, toxic substances that are chemically made. And they're highly inflammatory. Most people don't know that. So I would still limit how much artificial sweetener you take as a whole and eliminate sugar completely if you can. But if you're going to do it, stick with stevia. I like one's called Pure, P-Y-U-R-E. It's a erythritol stevia blend. It's probably my absolute favorite. Bill, Little Debbie's my girl. Oh, God. Let me drink to that. Sweet baby Jesus. Bill, I'm going to kill you. All right. So I'm going to leave you with a scenario about sugar because we're coming up into the holiday season. I mean, it's almost Labor Day, and before you know it, it'll be Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, right? I talked about this before. Swoon monkfish is great too, so that's good to know too, Julie. Thank you for that. So I talked about sugar being highly inflammatory and suppressing your immune system. As we come up on the holidays into Thanksgiving, the sugar train starts, right? Because we all start baking and making sweets. Because that's what we do. We trade containers of sweets for the holidays. Why? I don't know. I don't know who came up with all that, but it's crazy. So everybody's baking treats, loading up on sugar. And every year around Christmas, it starts around Thanksgiving, people get sick, right? Why do we get sick? Because we're all piling on sugar and our immune system gets suppressed and it becomes inflamed. And by Christmas, everybody's sick. And it gets worse at Christmas because we're all like, oh, I got to do the things. I don't care if I'm sick. I got to snot. I got to go buy this. I got to go do that. I got to run. So we're running. We're around tons of people. We're touching each other, sharing snot, swapping snot, all the things. It's disgusting, right? That's the problem, okay? So as we go into the holiday season, the best advice that I can give you is that if somebody wants to do something nice for you, tell them to give you a candle or something, or something healthy. Subscribe you to HelloFresh or something. You do not want that tin of fudge that my mother-in-law makes every Christmas, which is absolutely delicious. But that tin of fudge is evil. It's the devil, okay? And don't forget the Christmas tree cakes. Bill, that one is for you. So, zingers are your favorite, Addie. So, to avoid the Christmas cooties, kick your sugar habit now. Try to knock off some weight. Get the inflammation down. And when people offer you Christmas goodies, either say no thank you or re-gift them. Just don't do it because detox is... literally, detoxing from sugar feels like hell, but COVID is much worse, okay? I will tell you that. Avoid it at all costs if you can, okay? So, let's get into some products, okay? What about trivia? I missed something. I don't know what you're referring to, Teresa. Anyways, so I have a COVID cocktail that I recommend for prevention, and that's vitamin D3, 1,000 milligrams to 3,000 IUs a day. Most of it you can, Truvia. Truvia is, they make a Splenda blend with that, I think. But I think Truvia is something else. I can't remember. All right, back to vitamin D3. It comes in a standard form of 2,000 IUs. Get the 2,000 IUs and be done with it. Take it every day, okay? Vitamin C, 500 milligrams twice a day. Quercetin. A lot of people don't know what quercetin is. We're going to talk about that in a minute and what it does. 250 milligrams a day. This is for prevention, okay? Zinc, 30 to 40 milligrams a day. Melatonin, you can do 6 milligrams before bedtime. If you don't have any trouble sleeping, you may be able to skip the melatonin. The other thing that I would mention is a Gargle Mouthwash. Scope, Act, Crest, Listerine, whatever it is that you love. Gargle a couple times a day and spit. You want to keep everything as clean as possible, right? So that's the list of vitamins, the vitamin things that I recommend, and an adrenal support. Support that adrenal gland. If you need more information on adrenal support, I love Nature's Essentials vitamins. They're certified pure. They're pharmaceutical grade. They're really, really good. I have a link that I can share with you on that. Let me know. I will get it. You can run over there and buy most of these things there. But we're going to talk about a few products that I also promote, but that I love and have a lot of these ingredients in it. So let's talk about this for a minute, okay? Number one, you guys hear me talk about NRF2, the little yellow activator. You see me holding this bottle all the dang time, right? So NRF2, why do you want it? Glutathione. What is glutathione? It's the body's own natural antioxidant. This little yellow tablet increases your glutathione by 300% in as little as 30 days, okay? It has been known, okay? This is why it's important. This is where we're connecting the dots, okay? Glutathione can calm a cytokine storm. Do you remember me talking about the tornado? The inflammatory response from the cytokine storm that is created when the COVID virus gets inside on the spike protein, puts its NRA in there, makes everything crazy. Connect the dots, okay? Most people are glutathione deficient, okay? What causes lack of glutathione? Drugs, antibiotics, drinking, smoking, stress, anxiety, depression, overuse of Tylenol, poor diet, magnesium deficiency, excessive exposure to light, pollution. I can go on, but I won't because you all don't want to listen to that. Chemicals. All right. That's why detoxing your body is so important, okay? Give yourself a chance and activate your body's own cells to perform like they're supposed to. Basically, what we're doing is we're causing our body's own cells to dump out all that junk, okay? Dumps it out. The way that it's able to do that is by increasing glutathione. And when we increase that glutathione, we're producing our own antioxidants. Girl, you can eat a tub of blueberries. I don't care how many you drink. Imagine, let me give you a word picture because I love word pictures because I can get my brain around that. So imagine that if you took a little yellow peel, okay, and the cat's on Bill's desk. You took a little yellow peel and basically, you know, we're like throwing blueberries at there's a house fire. And we're throwing blueberries at it, right? Or we're just taking our water hose out there and we're just spraying, right? Imagine if you had 1,000 like fire trucks with fire hoses on your house. Do you think that you would be able to put out that fire? The answer is probably yes. So this is what this glutathione does. The 300% increase is like that fire hose situation. You can throw a blueberry at a time, or you can just take this and go in there with a nuclear bomb and bombard your whole system, okay? I love my yellow pill too, Rebecca. I love it, okay? So number two thing, okay, that I want to talk to you about. This is the first thing, is this. You guys see me drink this every darn day. And I probably talk about this product more than I talk about any other product that we have. You know why? Because you can take this all day and you may not feel a thing. You can take cholesterol medicine all day and you may not feel a thing. But you can drink this up and in 30 minutes, you're going to be going, yeah. You're going to feel it, all right? You're going to feel it. So Axio, what is it for? Remember when I was talking about people that were long haulers with the virus, some of the problems that they had? The problem that they have, a big one, is brain fog, PTSD, all these things, right? This is smart energy. This is brain food. What does it do? It's a brain performance product that gives you long-lasting energy, made with stevia, okay, so no sugar crash, without the crash from sugary beverages and snacks, but it goes far beyond that, okay? Imagine providing clarity in the brain like never before. Are you coming over? Okay. Imagine clarity in the brain like never before, okay? For lack of a better word, let's think of Axio as detangling pathways in the brain, stressful pathways in the brain. Imagine that there's pathways in the brain. They're bouncing like Pong, right? Is anybody old that played Pong? It's just going like this. Imagine being able to just calm all that. Just make it stop. It just stops. So people that have detangled pathways, patterns in their brain are people that have agitation, nervousness, depression, secondary to traumatic responses, major focus issues, attention problems. Imagine a drink with 15 calories, no sugar, made with stevia, 4 carbohydrates, and tastes great. And 30 minutes after drinking it, you have energy and the brain fog just goes and it just lifts. I know, he does hear me talking about him. Okay, so that's what we have our hands on here. That's what Axio Smart Energy is. So imagine yet a product that you drink that the longer you drink it, the better the results get. Rosa knows. Rosa has chemo brain and she swears by Axio. Rosa also has ADD. She swears by Axio, okay? So it's made with stevia, pine bark extract, quercetin. Quercetin, remember I told you need to take that. B vitamins, DMAE. DMAE is what causes the focus to go like hone in, okay? L-theanine and magnesium. So it improves mental endurance, mental acuity, concentration, memory retention, increases your physical and mental injury, and improves your mood, okay? That's fabulous. But I want to pull this over here for a minute too, because I printed this out because I wanted to talk to you guys about these ingredients really quick, because we talked about quercetin. Quercetin also acts as an antioxidant, and it helps boost cellular protection. Remember, I told you need to take quercetin. L-theanine promotes healthier, sustained energy without overstimulating you. And it also gives you a sense of alertness without making you feel jittery. It also helps learning performance, focus, and mental acuity, okay? And the source of energy is a natural source of caffeine from green tea extract, okay? So those are things we talked about just a minute ago. I told you needed quercetin. That's one of the things that I listed as the COVID cocktail. And quercetin is found in this. So you're going to love it. It's amazing. I am hooked. This is one of the products that I will never run out of. When I start to get to the point where I'm just about to run out, I start to hyperventilate a little bit. And I'm like, I got to order. I need it. I need it. So, all right. It also increases the brain's resilience to stress. We know that adrenal fatigue will get you. Improves information processing and attention span, and reduces mental fatigue and brain fog. And we know that the long haulers are really having a hard time with concentration and brain fog. It's known. It's across the board. You can go and Google it. You can read it anywhere, okay? Finally, the last thing that I want to talk about is my daily wellness, okay? This is a powder mix, okay? This is what it looks like, all right? It smells fabulous. It is a elderflower Axio, I never say it right, Axio flavor, okay? The reason that I love this product is that guess what's in it? Vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and fermented yeast extract, okay? And I've got a list of what all those do here. But here's the important thing. We talked about you needing those products. The best thing about this is when you drink it, it boosts your immune system in just 2 hours. And I drink mine as of right now, started drinking it twice a day. This for me, like, because they released this in February. When they released this for me, my allergies checked right up. And when we went on this trip to Mexico, which we just got back from, flying and changing in elevation really affected my sinuses. So I kind of started getting some cold-like symptoms. So I started hitting this hard again. I will tell you, this morning I drank Wellness with lemonade Axio, hot. Holy for holy. It's so good. Right now, I'm drinking Wellness right now with some prebiotic in it, which is a blood orange flavor, which is also delicious. I really like drinking Wellness hot, but you can mix it with other things or drink it plain. So I love the Wellness. I love the fact that it has that postbiotic in it. It helps with gut health as well, which we all know is really, really important. It supports your overall health. It's going to report your respiratory and sinus health, supports a balanced gut microbiome, and 70% of your immune system is housed in your gut. So you need to take care of your gut as well. So the neat thing about all of this is that these are bundled together as well. You can buy these separately, but this is bundled together. This bundle is $86. This is bundled together, and these are $89 right now, I think. I think it was $89. Let me double check. Yep, $89. So you can pick those up and add those to your regimen. But I would still go ahead and I always take, so I'm going to tell you what I take. Every day, I take DHEA and adrenal support to support my adrenal gland. I have some estrogen hormones that I take because I'm in the menopausal stage. I'm dealing with it. I take vitamin C every day, twice a day. On top of this stuff here, I take extra vitamin D. I take, let me see, what else do I take? I take my NRF2, I take NRF1, and I also do NAD. So I do that Tri-Synergizer pack with all the products in it. And I also take, I think that's about it. The C, that's about it. That's what I take every day. And so far, so good. So if you do, again, decide to take supplements, I really love Nature's Essentials. I mentioned that. There's a local lady that I work here with, and the quality of her products are really good. You can grab extra D, C, zinc, and vitamin C, as well as the adrenal port from the Nature's Essentials. I will be happy to post that for you. You're going to eliminate a huge inflammatory cascade just from supplementing your body and just by getting off sugar. So that's really, really, really important. So with that being said, I'm going to take questions, and I'm going to preface the end of this. I'm going to save these because this is good information. If anybody wants a copy of this, I can email it to you or screenshot it and send it to you as well. And I will also tell you that if you are a LifeVantage person, a distributor, and somebody from LifeVantage shared this video with you tonight, specifically just to talk about this virus and all the horrible things that are going on, if they shared it with you, be kind enough to go back to them and buy these wonderful products if you decide to pick them up as a customer. Guys, you're not going to be disappointed with the products. It's going to be life-changing for you. I'm telling you that these products have changed my life, but also supplementing my body with what it needs and eating right and staying away from sugar as much as I possibly can. It has really changed my overall health and the way I feel on a daily basis. If I don't eat right, I don't feel right. If I had to choose between Axio and Daily Wellness, what would I choose? Oh gosh, Kelly, you make it so difficult. It depends on what you need. If you stay sick a lot, I would say Daily Wellness. If you really struggle with energy and brain fog and focus, I would say Axio. If you can afford both, great. But if you can't, you got to kind of pick and choose based on what you need the most of. Thank you, Kathy. I'm so glad that you jumped on here with me. Does anybody else have any questions for me? Any questions at all? Spit them out. I'm trying to go back and look and see if anybody posted anything. So if you want to bake, but you want to use a sugar substitute. So that's the nice thing about the baking with the Swerve. It's a 1-to-1 ratio, Rosa. You don't have to convert. Like, you know, when you were baking with Splenda, you had to do a sugar conversion. Not with what did I say it's called? It's not Splenda, it's Swerve. So it's cup for cup, half cup for half cup. It's the same. You like the notes, Kelly? All right, we'll get them to you. I do have some Axio sample packs. So if you're the kind of person that would love to sample out some Axio, I've got some here. I don't have every flavor available to send out. I could send you like 2 flavors and I can let you pick. So if Axio is something, they sell it, Rosa, at Walmart and Food Line here in Danville. So you can get it at either place. It's amazing. It tastes so great. Yes, absolutely. Feel free to share this video, tag somebody in it, share it to your wall. If you feel that there's somebody that needs benefit, I'm not here to do anything but provide information and just to help you guys out. Like, I want you to be healthy. I don't want you fighting in the hospital on a ventilator. I don't want us to continue to have to do this forever. I'm sharing this information because, you know, I do know a few things, so... So you use Keiko as baking sweetener, but it's pricey. Yeah, it is pricey. The strawberry Axio is very good. It's very sweet. I will tell you that if you love the lemonade Axio or you're wanting to try it, it is limited edition. It will be expiring soon. We have about 2,000 bags left, and once it's gone, they won't release it again until probably next spring or next summer. It is going to be a seasonal item. So if you love this one, don't wait. I've got so many ideas with this one, like drinking wellness hot with this with hot honey in it, like as a hot tea remedy. This is so good as an Arnold Palmer with unsweet tea because it's sweetened with stevia. You just pour it right in the tea and shake it up. Like, I have so many ideas about what to do with Axio lemonade. It's like my absolute favorite right now. You don't have to worry about these products with a blood thinner. We always tell you, Kim, to consult with your doctor as usual. I am a physician assistant. I'm really familiar with warfarin and Plavix and Eliquis and all those. I prescribe those all the time. I actually have customers that are on blood thinners, and you don't have to adjust doses for that. So you'd like a sample of Axio, Stephanie? Just private message me, and I will get you a couple to try. Dragon fruit and raspberry mixed are amazing. It's one of my favorite combos, Julie. Absolutely freaking love that. Okay, so any other questions? I tell you what I'll do, guys. I'm going to screenshot my notes here. I'll take pictures of my notes, and I will just put them on Facebook here so you guys can kind of look at those, and we'll just go from there. I'll get these screenshotted as soon as we get off there. Flaw flavor? I'm not sure what you're asking me, Alice. Ask again. A fall flavor? Is that what you're asking me? So you want to order? So if you want to order from me, Jared, I'll go ahead and put up my link here if you want to order directly from me. But if there's someone else that invited you and you don't know me personally and this was shared by a customer, another distributor, you can... So that's my link. I'll go ahead and pin it right here so you guys can get to it. You just go. It's not going to let me pin it. There we go. There's my link. It's just lesliepowell.lifevantage.com. And you jump in there. And those bundles are there as well. You just scroll on through. You'll see the bundles. The bundle with the Axio is the Activated Essentials bundle. And the bundle with the Wellness is called the Wellness Bundle, I believe, the Daily Wellness Bundle. Will it help with singing as far as like your voice? I'm not sure what you're referring to. So, a fall. So Alice, all I can tell you is that there are some surprises coming out for fall. They're going to have a fall flavor coming, I hear. I don't know what flavor it is, but I've heard. So, yes, you can go on there and order. If you have any questions as I get off here, feel free to private message me. As soon as I get off here, I know I can't go a day without NRF2. I never miss it. I actually take it twice a day. So, all right, I'm going to jump off here. I'm going to screenshot these for you. Why don't I just do this? When I get off here, I'll put these in the thread, and you guys can save them to your phone. All right? I'll put them in order one by one. You can save them to your phone and you'll have them, and then we'll just go from there. And if anybody needs any product or has any questions, message me and I will try to go ahead and get the link too for Nature's Essentials, and I will post that with the links for the vitamin C and the extra D and the zinc and all that, okay? All right, guys, thank y'all for hanging out with me tonight. I hope you found some benefit from this and that you feel empowered to take your health back into your own hands. You do have some choice in this as to what happens with you, and a lot of that is solely reliable on you. Wash your hands, wear your masks, keep your distance as much as you possibly can, but take your supplements too because they're going to really, really help support your immune system, okay? All right, guys. Y'all have a good night. I'll see you later. Bye.